Cornel West is leaving the Green Party and moving over to run as an independent candidate. And I do want to kind of get your thoughts on a couple of things here. Now, like anything outside of the duopoly, which we advocate for post duopoly, I'm completely fine with. So when RFK is saying that the news came out that he's going to be announced on the 9th, that he's moving from the Democratic Party to the Independent, that is fantastic news right there. But when Cornel West says, I'm leaving the Green Party and all the ballot access they have to go independent, to me, that's a little bit more suspicious, Jimmy. So, one, have you heard the news? And then what is just sort of your initial reaction to him leaving the Green Party to run as an independent? That's Cornel West we're speaking about.
My initial reaction when I heard about it was that there must be some kind of conspiracy to make me look like a genius, and and I'll welcome it. So when I told you, Nick, after Cornel came on my show that he's not really running for president, I don't know what he's doing, but he's not running for president, and this just solidifies that he's not really running for president. Again, I don't know exactly what he's doing. I'm not in his mind, but what he just did was basically quit the race because he's got no plan to get ballot access. He's not going to build off. The Green Party has people in every state who know how to get ballot access, and he doesn't want to work with them. So basically what it looked like to me was that Peter Daou is an infiltrator from the DNC and the establishment. He works for the oligarchy and the Clinton Foundation and the Clintons. And so either he sabotaged it. I'm not supposed to say that he has advisors, even though he has advisors. It's bad for me to say that, I guess. And so he's getting bad advice once again, and they're there to. Peter Daou is a cancer, and now we're seeing the first tumor materialize, and here it is. And so Cornel West just basically took himself out of the election, and so now his campaign is a joke, and it's unbelievable that they're doing this with a straight face. And then now Jill Stein says she's going to run. And even
I'm loving that.
And so she's also suspect because we all know she lied when she said she didn't know who Peter Daou was in 2016. That's just a blatant lie. And this is all, we all know the Green Party is controlled opposition. They're infiltrated. And so that's what this is. And so I don't know what Cornel West thinks he's doing, but it doesn't pass the smell test. And he's not really running for president. In fact, I just saw a video where he said he's going to get guaranteed 30 states. He's going to get on the ballot in 30 states. Well, that means you're guaranteed to lose. And I'm going to bet those states he's not going to get on the ballot are going to be the swing states. Mark my words, he's not going to get on the ballot in swing states. And if he does, he'll drop out. There's no way. So this is just revealing again that my sniffer was correct. My bullshit detector went off when he came on my show. He's not really running for president, and this just solidifies that. And it breaks my heart because I was a big fan of Cornel West. I thought he could have made a big dent, but he's running this campaign and ran this campaign in a way to make sure he doesn't make a dent and to make sure he's not a threat to Biden and the establishment. That's the way he's running this campaign. It seems obvious to me, and every day I'm proven correct.
And I can't disagree more. And that is actually the assessment I gave yesterday. But let me read the tweet for those that may be listening only. What we're talking about on the screen is this is Peter Daou announcing with Cornel West that they're making this change. And I'll just read what Peter Daou wrote. Cornel West is running as an independent. There is no true democracy in America when two ruling parties actively work to prevent voters from having a choice. Would you accept a restaurant with only 2 rotten items on the menu? Of course not. Fight for justice by fighting the duopoly, that's the end of the tweet, which he was already doing, Peter, with the Green Party. Now, again, not necessarily green, independent, that's all great. But if you're looking strategy-wise and how to affect change, how to affect the duopoly, how to draw the most people out, it is on the Green Party. Even if you're talking about building a movement, because think about this, Jimmy and Nick, when you're building a movement, would it be advantageous to have somebody in your state running in that party, or would it not be? For example, Claudia de la Cruz, Nick, you can't vote for her. Now, if she's trying to build a movement, she can still do that. but it would be way better if she was on the ballot in Missouri while trying to build that movement. And that's the point that I'm making about the Green Party. So whether you think you're trying to win or whether you think, no, this is just movement building, to me, it's still a logical, strategic advantage to be on more ballots. Now, he may get on 30 ballots with the independent, but he was already on 18, three of which were already swing states, Michigan, and I think Wisconsin or North Carolina, and then a third state. He's already on. And then the last two elections, the Green Party has been on 40 plus states or more. In 2016, I think it was 44 or 48 or something like that. So you have to ask yourself, and this is what Due Dissident says, why would somebody do this unless you got a call or something, and now you are afraid. You are afraid of doing this, and this is your out. So, Jimmy, I don't know if you've covered this live yet, but could you kind of give a more of an analysis of, do you think, or at this question, do you think Cornel West was easily persuaded already, or do you think sort of Peter Daou was the one that kind of really pushed him over the edge, or he was already Humpty Dumpty on the ledge and he just needed a nudge to kind of get over out of this real fight? Because this is really bowing out, in my opinion, of a real fight to challenge power.
I already told you when he came on my show, it didn't feel like he was serious then, because he wasn't going for my vote. He wasn't trying to get my viewers' votes. He wasn't trying to garner and create a coalition of people to fight back against. He was running a boutique niche political campaign, and he still is. It's even more niche now. So I don't think he was serious. I don't know what the point of his campaign is, and nobody else can tell me what it is either. It certainly isn't running for president. So I'll just leave it there. And Peter Daou is definitely a cancer. He's definitely an infiltrator. And the idea that he changed. You can change. I didn't dislike Peter Daou because I didn't agree with him politically. I had an allergic reaction to Peter Daou because he has no integrity, and he's proven that he's a paid henchman liar, and he'll smear anybody for money. So he didn't reform his integrity. He didn't reform his character. The guy's the scum of the earth, the bottom. He's what's wrong with politics. And so to pretend like, because now he says he's a progressive, that somehow he's a good guy who should run Cornel West's campaign is a joke. Of course not. If Nara Tanden said she was on board for progressive politics, would you have her run your campaign? So that just shows that Cornel West's campaign is deeply unserious, deeply out of touch, and it's there to divide the left, and that's what it's doing right now.
It is. These are. I mean, ever since let me just say this. It's not a question. Ever since that interview, it's just been I don't understand what has happened in the last 2 weeks, but it's just, I don't know. But it's ever since that interview, it's just been, wow, just bad decision after another. But Nick, go ahead if you had a question. But I'm done with my part. But go ahead, Nick.
Like, this is very depressing for me to see this. Very sad. Like, this has such a big potential for third-party movement building. But seeing everything that happened now, I feel like we're skipping steps as a movement.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna explain what I mean when I say that. The excuse I heard for hiring Peter Daou is, oh, well, we can't find anyone else. The fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, and I explained to you guys my vision last stream. Like, we need to be building mutual aid societies. I'm about to ask Jimmy about revolutionary very soon. But we need to be building mutual aid societies. We need to build an outside coalition of workers ready to address people's material needs that's built from the ground up, horizontal movement. So just looking and doing a PMC job search for people who are going to run the movement is not what I'm personally looking for, right? And it seems with all these missteps, it seems like we're skipping steps. We're not building the movement the way it's supposed to be doing. This is what we've been saying from day one. And I had to say my brother Rome is right, man. We can't be looking towards these politicians and the PMC left to generally say, we need to do the work ourselves. We can't skip steps. And I feel like that is what a lot of people are hoping to do. They're still way too invested in Dr. Cornel West, RFK Jr., anybody. They just fucking trying to skip steps. And I wish I can say that this campaign is going to lead to something great, but I don't think it will now, especially after this latest move. Any last thoughts? CJ, I'm just trying to. I'm gonna see.
No, I'm done. So we can get Jimmy. You can go ahead with yours, and we can get him out of here.
I just would feel a lot better if Cornel West was surrounded by people like Shama Sawant and Brianna Joy Gray and union activists and things like that.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's surrounded himself with infiltrators and liars, and it's unbelievable.